What's good out there, everyone? It's your main correspondent, Alan Taylor, and we're back in the broadcast room yet again, man, with another one. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, coming to you with a great one from Miss Mashawn Denise out there. Shout out to her. Shout out to her. Real talk. You know what I'm saying? Doing her thing. You know what I'm saying? Making it happen. Let's see. Saturday nights in Atlanta. Wow, this seems like it's gonna be a problem here. I mean, but you know, we already know, you know, how that goes, you know, dealing with these dingbats out here in the 21st century. So, you know, let's go to Dingbat Central.
Headed to Christmas, the last thing that they should be prepared for is a funeral of their children.
Tonight, we continue to learn more about Saturday's shooting near Atlantic Station. Atlanta police say there were 3 shooters and only 1 intended target, but 6 teens were shot in the crossfire. Atlanta police say the shooters were going after 15-year-old Cameron Jackson. He died from his injuries on Monday. 12-year-old Zion Charles was also hit by one of the bullets and died on scene. It is heartbreaking, but also alarming, and you're about to see surveillance video showing the shooters, who appear to be celebrating and all smiles just minutes after causing pure chaos on Saturday night.
Hey there, besties. Thank you for stopping by. I am Mashawn Denise. Let's continue to take a look at this foolishness going on in ATL. Shout out to Georgia. Being known for such things like this, it seems to never end. It's not just them. I'm just saying. We spoke about this already. We heard from the mother of 12-year-old Zion. I don't believe we've seen anything, or I haven't, from the 15-year-old's mom. The 15-year-old was the target. These people are all hanging out in a group doing absolutely nothing, walking around terrorizing, no type of parental responsibility or anything. And what is anyone supposed to do about that? Where's the outrage? Where's Black Lives Matter? Where is anyone down here to say, you know, who's taking up?
Oh, I'll tell you where Black Lives Matter at. I'll tell you where they at. Hold on. I'll tell you where they at. You know what I'm saying? They're in that mansion out there. You know what I'm saying? That they bought. You know what I'm saying? With all that money and stuff like that. You know, that's where they at. That's where they at. They out there with that mansion and those cars and those Prada purses and those Prada shoes and that Louis vest and all that type of stuff that, you know what I'm saying, that, you know, I'm pretty sure that chick probably got all the shit. Oh yeah, that's where Black Lives at. They over there. They're chilling. They didn't got enough money. You know, they done fought a good fight, you know.
Control of these people. The whole city has to be suffering from this, because that's exactly what it seems like.
7 Lives Cody Alcorn is live along the 17th Street Bridge. And Cody, it seems like those young people had no remorse at all.
Ron, I'll be honest, to see these young men laughing and carrying on is downright disturbing. You're about to see it. And to know that Zion was with them. His mom admitted that he snuck out of a friend's house. He came here to the 17th Street Bridge, Atlantic Station. He met up with his buddies, and then this group left this 12-year-old to die. Just minutes before shots were fired on Saturday night, surveillance video captured this group walk.
So here we got, you know, another incident here also as well. We got another incident here where a young man has, you know, even though he snuck out the house, he snuck out the house, okay? You know, here's another incident to where you're supposed to be with friends, but at the same time, though, somehow, some way, by some mystical power or some, you know, illuminated mindset, your ass end up deceased. And you supposed to be with friends?
And what the French toast is there to think about?
Obviously, it's a lot.
Walking along 17th Street.
It's a bunch of young people that ain't doing nothing, they ain't got nothing to do, wandering around aimlessly. For why come? For why come? Get a job. They should be working at Chick-fil-A, McDonald's, something. They should be home.
Oh, man, you know these idiots ain't gonna get no damn jobs. laugh at that shit. I ain't gonna make no good money at no job. You know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna pay me right and this and that, or whatever type of dumbass excuse these idiots want to come the fuck up with. You know what I'm saying? Or even maybe the fact that they haven't even been raised properly to know that they even need to get a damn job in the first damn place. It's something. It's something in the air. Or maybe it's in the water. It could be in the air, the water, or, who knows? But it's some type of stupidity gene that's being actually ingrained in society today. I mean, seriously though, but yeah. Man, stop it. A job, you know what I'm saying? They don't have enough discipline to have a damn job. That's also part of the problem.
A bunch of kids aimlessly walking around, that is a recipe for disaster. Now, allegedly, Zion, I think his name is, snuck out. It doesn't matter whether he snuck out or not. The mother already admitted that he was a problem and she tried to get the police to help her with her kid. Instead of reaching out to an uncle, a grandfather, a father, she reaches out to the police, and now they want to blame the police because her son is deceased. He snuck out. These people know what they're doing, and just like these newscasters are saying, they have no remorse whatsoever. So basically, we're dealing with terrorists. It's no different than dealing with the people who came and did 9/11. Willing to die. They do not care. So what are you supposed to do with that? People don't want to parent their kids. They're out here doing whatever they want. They think they're grown. I guess they don't care that they only living until 12, 13, 14, 15, or they get caught and they go to jail for the rest of their lives. If you ain't gonna parent your kid, what the heck is the rest of us supposed to do?
APD says the young man with the black and gold hoodie.
Hey, hold up. What I want to know is, what I really want to know is, who do you expect to take care of you when you become an elder? Because see, the way karma works on this planet, it's very funny. It works in a very funny way. It works in a very funny way. What you did not do for your children and guide them down the proper way and things like that, you will pay for that in your older years if you didn't guide that child down the right path. I mean, I'm just being honest. You will pay for that in your older years when you're living and you really have nobody that you can trust except for maybe your children that you're supposed to have raised properly. Yeah. Because if you raise them properly, you won't end up in a nursing home. Okay? I'm just saying. Unless you're okay with, going in a nursing home and people mistreating you and, spitting on you. Now, I've heard some terrible things that come from nursing homes. So, hey, I'm just saying.
Is one of the shooters. The teen in all yellow at the bottom right is 12-year-old Zion Charles, who will soon be gunned down. Walking just feet behind him, APD says, is a second shooter. You see him again on a different camera. Minutes later, APD says 15-year-old Cameron Jackson rolls by on a scooter.
Somebody else's name, they say that's Cameron, that's our position. That's when shots rang out.
Chaos followed. 17th Street was locked down, but the shooters managed to get over to the Arts Center MARTA station across 85. Cameras picked up the group. You see the suspect in the blue hoodie walking down the stairs, followed by the young man in the yellow and black hoodie. And as they wait for the train.
Now, hold up. Let's go back just a tiny bit real quick. Let's see. Hold on. Where you at? Give it to me. Nope, that's not where we at. All right, right here. You know what I'm saying? He's already looking like he's kind of, reaching for something right there. You know what I'm saying? It looks pretty heavy because of the angle of the coat and the way that things are hanging out. You know what I'm saying? Any grown person that knows the weight of a gun, they understand that, you know what I'm saying? They know what that shit look like. You know what I'm saying? For real though. They know what it looks like. Let's just keep it real. So, yeah, whoever this young man is, things like that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you on camera like a mug, so you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you might as well go ahead on and Yeah. Turn your little rumper on in, bro. You know what I'm saying? Shit. Little young cat, you know.
As
Stop.
they wait for the train.
They
It's
also seem to be
ridiculous.
celebrating, making
ridiculous.
gestures and talking about the shooting.
All smile.
Remember all this once you catch them, because here's the other thing, as always, as usual, which is why I say these people are terrorists. They do not care. They're just being caught seconds later. People know who they are seconds later. Nobody thinks about all the cameras. I mean, they're in one of I don't know what this place is, but if it's a place where there's trains and public transportation, the odds are there's cameras.
There's plenty of cameras.
Plus, they're in this
Plenty of
outdoor
them.
place, cameras. About to go someplace where there's cameras. They've already been identified, basically. Pretty sure they know who this is. Now all they got to do is find him and pick him up. And then his mother will be out there alone, unless Auntie is there and Granny, of course, saying, I don't know how this happened. Oh my God, what happened? It's not fair. It's not right. It's the police's fault. It's everybody else's fault. It's Jermaine's fault. It's everyone's fault except for this kid right here. And all these minors. I'm tired of these officials, these legal people not holding their parents accountable. They should be held accountable, because until you make these people be responsible for their minor children that are terrorizing the rest of the adults in these cities, why does anyone think that any of this is going to change?
Here we go right there.
And what the French toast is there to think about?
Not a damn thing, people. Oh yeah. You lock 2 or 3 of these dingbats up for something that their children pulled off and let the world see it. Oh man, we're gonna find out real quick how these mothers gonna get this shit in line around this motherfucker. I'm trying to tell you right now, y'all playing around. Y'all playing around. Man, them heifers ain't finna go to jail for their children's mistakes. Hell, they don't even want to hold up for their own damn mistakes. What make you think they want to go to jail for their child's mistakes? Man, y'all need to do some thinking out here. I'm telling you, man. Push for that shit, man. Watch that shit, man. All right. You'll have motherfuckers walk around here acting like they monks and shit.
I don't understand why this has got to be rocket science. I don't get it.
And handshakes. But what you don't see is their buddy Zion. APD says he was lying along 17th Street taking his last breaths. But his group, who his mom says he's...
Didn't even... I mean, I don't know who shot that little boy, okay, first of all. But if they was just walking together, all this chaos happens, they just calmly walk away. They can't even stop and,
they don't care.
Stay with him.
They don't care.
You know, come on, make it, Zion, or give him any comfort or anything.
Man, because they don't give a fuck. They didn't even care. They didn't care at all. Hold on, let me check something out real quick. Let me see something here. I'm trying to see something real quick. Let's go back.
Didn't even...
Okay, no.
I mean, I don't know who shot that little boy, okay, first of all. But if they was just walking together, all this chaos happens, they just calmly walk away. They can't give him any comfort. This is what we're dealing with, y'all, okay? And then shout out to the white people. They sitting up here saying, these animals. I see it in the comments. And what can you say? What would you call it? Seriously. I mean, until someone decides that they want to get a hold of their own damn kids, but having, a father figure in their life, it's always his fault. Blame the man. I know that's going to come.
Yeah, but see, the thing good is you want to blame the man after the fact, when you wouldn't let him be a father in the first place, because you really didn't even want to be with the man that you allowed to impregnate you.
And what the French toast is there to think about?
Not a damn thing, man. Ain't nobody got time for these dingbat ass games these people playing. Y'all done played them too long. Now they played out. Just like you, bitch.
Instead of sitting around and deciding that you're going to have a nuclear family, a husband, you're going to take care of who it is that you have children with, not any old body based off of swag, someone that has something to offer that's going somewhere, being an appropriate type of woman that you would attract that type of person, so then maybe you wouldn't create these gremlins who are now out here terrorizing the whole city. And then when something like this happens, everyone's supposed to just give up their money for the GoFundMe, cry, say, oh, it's a shame. Nah, that's not what we doing. We tired of this. We are tired of your kids out here terrorizing the whole world because they don't have anything to do because their parents aren't parenting them.
Right, and that's the whole point. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason why the young boys need men in their life, to give them the structure to know, what they need to do. go out and get jobs and stuff like that. But see, the problem is a lot of you women out there are having babies with men that don't, you know what I'm saying, that don't work. You know what I'm saying? They're not intertwined in the system. They don't have no investment in society. You're having babies by men that don't have any type of investment in society, and then you want to sit there and expect for your children to grow up and have some type of investment in society. And it doesn't work that way.
What the French toast is there to think about?
Not a motherfucking thing. Right. Then you want somebody to have sympathy and empathy and all this stuff when these young men, basically babies, children, out here getting popped off in the middle of the damn street, and now all of a sudden you want to run and this and that, and man. The excuses days are over with. I keep telling y'all, we've taken Minnie and Mickey of Disney and we've put them on an island. They're drinking Geritol juice. They're no longer in service. The Disney fairy tale is over with. Play with it.
Again, to know the chaos and the fear that these teens put into so many people right here on the 17th Street, and then to watch them act as if nothing happened is alarming. And it really makes you question, is a curfew really going to stop these teens and gangs from committing more violence?
No, it's not, which is why you can institute it, but until you start fining parents and sending them to jail along with their kids, whatever their kid did, they go down for the rest. They go down for the same. Do that a couple times. I bet you some things will change then. Because curfew don't make no difference. People who are breaking the law.
Listen, this is what I'm saying right here. If the kid go down, you know what I'm saying, for whatever happened, let's say the kid have to go for 15 years. Yeah, the parent that's the legal guardian of that child. Real talk, the legal guardian. Because at the end of the day, we all know what type of homes these people come from. Let's just keep this real. The legal guardian of that parent ought to at least do 5 years of that 15. He's still gonna do the whole 15, but she need to do 5 of it for her own self.
Laws. You think they care about curfews? Come on now, y'all.
That is a really good question there, Cody. I know that you haven't been here that long. However, you always have your ear to the ground, speaking with community members. What are they saying about this shooting? Any planned response?
Well, as you know, they want change. They say it has to happen. They say we are failing these young men and women. In fact, we know there is going to be a peace.
Hold up. Who is we? Who is we? These are basically still children. They're still children. What do you mean, we? They're still at a level to where they're supposed to know basic human skills while growing on this planet. The basic human skills is, you don't go out fucking murdering people. What
the French toast is there to think about?
Man.
And the streets anti-violence walk right here on 17th Street Friday night. It's expected to start around 7 o'clock. It'll start at Atlantic Station and go down 17th Street. So again, we'll have much more on that at 11alive.com. And of course, we'll be out here Friday night for it.
Yeah, we're gonna move a little bit forward. She has some valid points in this situation. So, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna scan through the thing. Let's go.
Speaking exclusively to 11 Alive about what happened that night and the lingering questions they still have. One of the main concerns is how the situation was handled after the crowd of kids was kicked out of Atlantic Station and the shooting that took place shortly thereafter.
It hurts to know that my sister tried and lost her child, but she's out even at the time that she's grieving to try to help somebody else.
This rash of violence has
Well, I'm also getting tired of, on the real side though, like seeing women nowadays with fake tears and shit. I'm sorry, like I don't, like I grew up with very old school women. Something tragic like this pop off, they immediately start pouring tears like water out of a jug. In reality, you supposed to be seeing some tears roll down this woman's face. I mean, as a lady.
And what the French toast is there to think about?
It's a lot. Y'all better start doing some thinking out here, man. For real though. Man, ain't no woman not come on, man.
Reached a fever pitch in the city.
The November 26th mass shooting next to Atlantic Station ended with 6 teenagers shot, including a 12 and 15-year-old who died.
All of us are impacted when the bloods of our children are running down the streets of this city.
The recent shooting prompting a major call for action, but as attorney Drew Bill explains,
it is not a new phenomenon. We're just seeing the last 10 years of growth. That's why we're seeing it and saying, God, this is really bad. Well, it's been growing like a weed for 10 years.
What?
Thanks, Andrew, for letting them know that. I already knew. I don't understand, you know. I mean, not for ATL, of course, but just period, point blank. Because no one, again, you know, I don't know. Somebody let me know. Are these the people that were produced from the crack era? Like, wasn't crack in the 80s? Well, not 80s maybe, in 90s. When did New Jack City come out? 80s, 89, 90 or so. So if you had kids, they would have been born.
Okay, this is the deal right here, and I'm finna give it to you. These young people, for them to be, 15, shit like that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? These are maybe like the early to mid 80s babies, children, stuff like that, you know what I'm saying, to a degree. You know, some of us had children more earlier than others, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, some of the, 80s babies, children are in their fucking 20s like a motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? I'm just, hey, we just gonna keep it real. You know, yeah, I see some kids in middle school that was pregnant. So, I mean, it is what it is. But, hey, though, so, yeah, for those, you know what I'm saying, it's about, their parents got to be about, you know what I'm saying, mid to late 80s children that are adults now that had them. So that's what's going on here. So you're dealing with early 21st century born children. So, this is kind of what's going on here. They have no clue of what the old school life used to look like. Hell, especially if you were born in the late 80s, early 90s, you have no clue of what the old school life like. Only us, the older 80s, late 70s, early 80s babies, we remember a time before time out here. We remember this shit. We was getting our first cell phones at, back in 98, 99, 2000, 2001. We were getting the first cell phones then, and they didn't have all this technology on the cell phone like they do now. You know what I'm saying? If y'all, any one of y'all follow me, in my age group, I'm telling the damn truth. For real. So, but yeah, though, a lot of this technology making these kids out here stupid, and that's what the fuck going on.
Child, I'm not good at math. Y'all let me know. Who are these kids? Who are these kids? Because it's not, you can't blame Meg Thee Stallion and Cardi for these kids. They came from somebody else.
Well, a citywide curfew is being
came
considered.
From dingbats.
Short-term solutions aren't really the answer. This is a systemic problem.
It's not a long-term
Oh, Lord. Is it systemic racism?
solution.
I think that we've reached critical mass, which is why all of us are going to have to get involved.
Nah, Rev. Call them parents to get involved, Rev. I'm sorry to tell you, child. Get Ben, Black Lives Matter, Sean King, get all them down there. Get them all down there, child.
Everyone agrees.
They ain't coming.
The problem is the lack of a foundation among a lot of our youth.
Well, oftentimes this kind of activity comes from socioeconomic conditions, poverty, and so access to resources, access to facilities to engage people so that they're looking at something other than violence.
A problem not unique to Metro Atlanta.
I think we're seeing the same kind of issues in other cities, not one city, one culture, one group. It's everywhere.
So, in other words, the blacks are out of control, Andrew. I'll say it for you. You Negroes are out of control. You Negroes.
And what the French toast is there to think about?
Kids, your Negroes better get their fathers, get married, do something that makes.
Hey, what was just being talked about right then? Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear the way that he? Did y'all hear the way that he put that?
Awesome.
Did y'all hear the way that he put that? You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Y'all got to understand. Did y'all hear that, though? Yes, you colored people out there. And yes, I took it all the way back. You colored people out there are out of fucking control. These colored people are allowing their children to do too much. These colored people are sucking up too many resources. These colored people are, you know what I'm saying, pretty much doing too much. They're doing too much. They're making it hard for people to make money. They're making it hard for people to roam around society, which also, you know, helps to make money, because if people are too scared and frightened to go out because of treacherous things, they're not going to go out and spend the money. So, you know, yeah, it's time for, you know, it's time to get some of these colored people in line. Basically, I gave you the raw version of real talk. Miss Denise may have been a little bit more sweet. I'm just telling you what the fuck it is.
Makes sense, because all your kids are suffering the brunt of all of this, and the rest of the world, because your kids don't give a damn about you, them, and they definitely don't give a damn about us.
Thank you.
We can solve this in this city, and there's some contributing factors that are undermining the wellness of our children. We must address those matters.
Cameron Jackson's mother says this violence affects everyone, no matter your race, geographical area, or socioeconomic status.
You're right, because the rest of us are suffering from what your kids is doing. Not necessarily this kid. We don't know. I don't know about Cameron. That's the 15-year-old. So let's see what we learn from here, child.
Cameron Jackson was homeschooled. His mother says he loved cooking and science. His boxing coach said he did so well at that sport that he had dreams of taking him to the Olympics in 2024.
Okay, so let me tell you right here, right now, this what happened. Of course, you know what I'm saying, even though this young man obviously had, you know, male role models, you know, in his life somewhere, you know, at the same time though too, yes, he may not have had his father directly interjected in his life. That causes the problem. A young man can have outside role models in his life, but he's still going to want to go out and be adventurous and things like that, you know what I'm saying? And he has to have access to a consistent role model in order for him to be able to pay attention to the signs of life. Now, hold on here. Let me get off in here with you. This is the thing about the male role model that's outside of the home and the male role model that's inside the home. The outside can only guide you but so far, because they're not there consistently every night to when you're going to bed or before you go to bed, or when you're sitting there and you in that, you know, as a young man, you may be in a mood, you're thinking and shit like that, and you don't have that inside home male role model to sit down and be like, okay, well, why you looking like that? What's going on with you? What's wrong with you? This and that, whoop de whoop. The outside male role model can't do that because he's not there inside the house, okay? So now, what that leads up to this young man, once he actually goes home and has to deal with the home side of his life and all the everything that comes with it. Let me put it that way. And he deals with those types of that type of situation and stuff like that. He's sitting there thinking he has no other male to talk to. There's only, you know what I'm saying, mom and maybe brothers and sisters, which he can't gain any knowledge from because they don't know anything to damn selves yet. You know what I'm saying?
And what the French toast is there to think about?
It's a lot to think about, Brother Kevin. And the thing of it is what to think about here is due to the fact that you have that separation. But inside the home, you don't have the strong male role model to actually sit there and talk to the son and talk to the boy and let him know where he can express, you know what I'm saying, they could sit around and maybe throw the ball or this or that, or, you know what I'm saying, bond however they choose to bond as father and son. And, you know, and he could get information out of the young child in order to help guide him the proper way. Well, this is what you do, son, for this type of situation, and this is what you don't, and this and that, woo to woo. He can't get that from the outside because the outside is not in the home when the son really needs to have deep communication and talk with the father. So, you know what I'm saying? You want to sit here and tell me that a father is not It's overwhelmingly necessary for a father in the home, and you dingbats want to sit out here and think this shit is weird. It's not. Yeah, you women have fucked up, and society is giving you its raw ass for doing so.
But now, none of that matters.
This is not about Cameron. This is not about that other little kid. This is about all of our children.
Tiffany Smith says we are losing a generation. Atlanta police say her 15-year-old son, Cameron Jackson, was targeted in a shooting involving young people on the 17th Street Bridge near Atlantic Station Saturday.
Based off of what we heard when they said there he is, that's Cameron, it's possible that that is true. So Cameron seems, according to what they're saying, he was a good boy. He wasn't no troublemaker. He was homeschooled, this, that, and the third. If he's great, and I'm just asking the question, y'all, I don't know nothing. I'm just going by these news reports. If Cameron is so good and he's doing everything, why is he hanging out with this element? The pastor said, and Andrew, the lawyer, I guess he is, said it's socioeconomic issues, systemic issues, and then you come and you see that this is a different case over here.
Okay, socioeconomical issues. That's meaning financial and educational. Systemic issues. When you get to systemic issues, it involves the breakdown of that particular race. Real talk. You know, just being honest.
Here with Cameron, according to what mom is saying at this news conference. So why is Cameron hanging out with the lower socioeconomic status persons, I shall call it?
Both Cameron and 12-year-old Zion Charles died as a result of the weekend shooting.
Listening to the other mother speak about not having the resources. You know, in my situation, we had all the resources. But the one thing that we were unable to deal with was the community, the environment, the city.
Cameron loved.
Well, thank you, Mom, for letting us know what's what. But there was a lore there. There clearly was a lore there. And people don't realize that at certain ages, and I'm not blaming Mom here at all. I'm just saying your kids will get influenced by others. Maybe he wanted a dangerous life. Maybe they was cool to him, all those different things. At the same time, it sounded like he was just riding by, but they targeted him for some reason, allegedly. Only based off of what we heard on these newscasts. It's all I got. I ain't got nothing else. I don't live there. But I'm just going by what we hear here. Shout out to the mom, though.
And that's what's going on out here. That's what's going on.
Science and boxing. His boxing coach said he had dreams of taking him to the Olympics.
We had dreams and goals of going to the Olympics 2024 in Paris. It's like they took my dream.
Atlanta police released surveillance video of a group of young men they believe know something about the shooting. They say the person in a yellow and black hoodie, along with the person with a blue hoodie with writing on it, were the shooters. Police initially said the shooting was gang-related. The Jackson family says Cameron was not in a gang.
All right, this is the biz, though. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to that family. You know, hopefully they get things figured out. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, try to figure out a way to get in the best spirits that they can, which I can understand. No parent wants to lose a child. That's just the truth about life. But yeah, this is a crazy scenario, and it goes back to the situation I told you about the father in the home and the father outside the home, low key, which is, you know, the male role model. Which if the father was in the home and you have the male role model outside the home, with those two dynamics of men, you know, combining itself, because the father would know also who his son is looking up to as well. You know, if not just him, you know, it could be multiple people. It could be him and his coach and stuff like that. You know, that's how life works, you know what I'm saying, amongst men. Yeah, we can look at multiple men and be like, yeah, he's a good dude just like my dad. So, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, bonds get built like that. Friendships get made because, you know what I'm saying, the son and brought two cool gentlemen together, and both of them have the best interest, you know what I'm saying, for the young man to see him prosper and make it as just a decent human being on this planet. But, you know, you people don't want to hear about all that. All you want to hear is about the chaos side. But it is what it is, though, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to fathers being back in the homes where they fucking supposed to be, 10 toes down, especially in the black community, you know. And yeah, it is what it is, though. But shout out to all my subscribers out there. Mad love, 10 toes down. Shout out to Miss Michonne Denise, you know what I'm saying, for her great way of putting things together. You know what I'm saying? She's awesome. Please hit that like button, that share button, that subscribe button. Emails down there too if you need so. And like I always say about this time, my friends, that my friends is the bottom line.